Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. If you are watching this, you likely have either just left or are thinking about leaving a narcissistic or abusive partner. And first, before we move on to anything else, I just want to say that I see you. I remember the courage that it took to get to day number 1. And so I just want to say that you're not alone. If you're new here, my name's Beany. I'm a certified trauma-informed coach that specializes in domestic and narcissistic abuse. If you are not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and alerts so that you never miss a video. So what I wanted to talk today about and to address is the first 30 days after you have left an abusive or narcissistic relationship and what those first 30 days might look like for you. And obviously, everyone's circumstances are very different, and the order in which some of these things come up for you might be different as well. But in general, all these same feelings are extremely common. The feelings that you have might feel very contradictory, and it's likely that everything will feel both terrifying and strangely quiet. Your heart might be racing, but your body will feel, I don't know, maybe extremely heavy. And you might have a great sense of relief while also feeling shattered at the same time. So I think it's extremely important for you to know what you're getting yourself into so that you can prepare for it, so that you can seek out support for it, and so that you can arm yourself with the necessary tools to be able to make it through it. And so here is an honest account what those first few weeks may feel like. And of course, what you might need to get through those first few weeks. Okay, phase number 1. This is kind of like the aftershock, right? The moment you leave, or maybe they discard you, and it might feel like the world has just dropped from under you, right? Even if you've been planning it for weeks, months, even years, nothing can fully prepare you for the emotional free fall. See, what happens, your nervous system has been in survival mode for so long that when you finally get away, your body doesn't know how to feel safe yet. That cortisol doesn't just vanish. So if you feel maybe shaky or jumpy, or maybe you're just numb or exhausted, or maybe your heart is racing even while you're sitting still, that's all normal. It's your body trying to figure out what calm feels like. There's often like a huge emotional letdown in those early days. You might expect to feel free and empowered, and maybe you do. But also, you might feel devastated, scared, or even guilty. You might cry for days. You might not cry at all. Again, this is normal. For me, this all came up as I stepped on the plane. I will never forget that feeling I had as I hopped on a flight with a carry-on across the country. I had such a strong sense of freedom and independence, and I felt like I had been shattered into a million pieces. I remember oversharing my entire story to my poor seatmate next to me on the plane. I ended up crying and explaining my entire situation and my escape. Oversharing, yes. Also a really common trauma response that can come from maybe that desperate need to be seen and understood, or maybe the norm of just not having healthy boundaries. So the lines are kind of blurred between what's appropriate vulnerability and overexposing. Or oversharing might just be the trauma still living in your body and you need to pour it out without even realizing how much has spilled over. This is the nervous system kind of unwinding years of trauma. It's the body's way of saying, wait, are we really out? Is it safe to feel yet? And when it starts to feel, everything comes flooding in. Like I said, all these phases might come at different times, but phase 2 might look like some serious post-separation abuse. because unfortunately, leaving doesn't always mean that it's just over, right? Especially when you're with a narcissistic, abusive partner. You might experience post-separation abuse, and that can look like anything from stalking, like following you, showing up at your job, driving by your home. You might have harassing messages, maybe text, emails, phone calls, sometimes disguised as maybe apologies or fake emergencies, smear campaigns, telling mutual friends and coworkers or family lies about you to ruin your reputation. And they might also be using the legal system, maybe threatening custody battles or dragging out your divorce proceedings to punish you. For me, at first it came in the way of text messages immediately. That escalated to him showing up to my home where I obviously was not there, and then eventually moved to him stalking me in my new state. This is why physical distance and no contact is so incredibly important. See, I had tried many, many times to do this without that physical distance, and he had kind of always found a way to make me break with either threats to me or my family or my job or my belongings. And all of this is about control. They're trying to pull you back in to their chaos so that they can reassert their dominance over your life. Yes, blocking them physically is a start, but now you are on your way to blocking them mentally, emotionally, and energetically, removing yourself from their grip. So if no contact isn't possible, like in cases where you share children, then gray rock. That's be flat, be boring, be neutral, no emotion, no reaction. This is your next best thing. It's not about being rude. It's about you surviving. Okay, phase 3, rumination. Okay, so you have logistically removed yourself and you've gone no contact, but now here comes kind of the mental war, ruminating. This is where you might replay everything, the good times, the arguments, the what ifs, and you wonder, was it really that bad? Could I have done more? Did I make a mistake? Could he be better? This is all part of trauma bonding, and it's also a side effect to gaslighting, because when someone manipulates your reality for long enough, you stop trusting your own perception. So even after you leave, your brain tries to kind of rewrite the story to make sense of the chaos. And oftentimes your mind will get stuck in this mental loop. And it's more than just you overthinking. It can feel like a tormenting obsession to find closure and clarity. Your brain is searching for answers. Why did they change? Were they ever real? What could I have done differently? Again, this is normal. This is all part of the beginning process of you processing all the trauma that you've been through. But the problem with that is that it is all rooted in shame and self-blame. And your questions likely will turn to things like, why didn't I leave sooner? Why didn't I see the red flags? Maybe I overreacted. And this is where self-compassion is key. You're not crazy. You're not weak. Your brain is trying to heal, and it's sorting through every detail to protect you from future harm. So let yourself grieve, let yourself question, and then gently remind yourself you left for a reason. You don't owe anyone a perfect narrative, and you owe yourself peace. I have a few really powerful strategies that I use with my clients that really help through this rumination stage. Okay, moving on to phase 4, sleep and regulation. Sleep in those first 30 days can be really unpredictable. You might feel like you can't fall asleep, or you might feel like you can't stop sleeping. For me, I couldn't get enough sleep. I napped constantly. I went to bed early. I woke up late. My body had a huge letdown. But for some, you might find your sleep is impossible. Again, this is trauma playing out in your nervous system. Your body is on high alert, and your subconscious is still processing danger, even if you're safe now. So trying simple things like deep belly breathing 5 minutes before you go to bed, maybe some somatic stretching or journaling to kind of clear your mind. No social media, especially if they're trying to still contact you, and especially before bed. Again, this isn't about being productive or doing healing right. It's about you helping your body to feel safe enough to rest. Okay, phase 5, doubt and loneliness. Around week 2 or 3, a different kind of pain can set in, and that's the pain of doubt. You might start questioning your decision. You might feel lonely. You might even miss them, which can be really confusing, especially after everything you've endured. And then it's possible that you spiral back into that rumination phase. Let me be clear about something. Missing someone who hurt you is not weakness. It's part of breaking a trauma bond. You were conditioned to associate chaos with connection. Your brain and body are adjusting to silence. And silence after abuse can feel excruciating. So much so that you might seek out that chaos or drama, and you may be tempted to reach out to them, just checking in, just to hear their voice, just to see if maybe they've changed. These are all chemical reactions going on in your body. They have not changed. What you're feeling is a withdrawal. It's chemical, it's emotional, and if given the chance, it will pass. One of the best ways to deal with this phase is to stay distracted. You can distract yourself with hobbies, friendships, self-care, maybe education. This is where I insert my She's Up handbook. This is a really great way for you to begin to fill your time with productive self-healing practices. I will link it below in the description so that you can gain access to this really me-centered handbook. Okay, moving on. Last phase, phase 6. This is freedom and gratitude. And here's the beautiful part. Even in the middle of the pain, there will be glimpses of something else. One day you're going to wake up and you're going to realize no one's criticizing you first thing in the morning. No one's controlling how you dress or where you go. You get to decide for yourself what peace looks like. You'll start to feel freedom, maybe not all at once, but in tiny moments. You can wake up slowly. You can maybe listen to music they hate. You can laugh with a friend without that heavy feeling of them, where are they? And eventually, gratitude creeps in. Not for them, but for you. For the version of you who got up and walked out. For the part of you that said, no more. Yes, gratitude will eventually come naturally, but this is also one of the really big strategies that I teach my clients about how you can help move the healing process along for yourself. You can be very purposeful and intentional about your own gratitude. And it might feel forced at first, but I promise you that with some accountability and intention, you will eventually feel and see all the gratitude that surrounds you. And even if you're still hurting, you will be proud. The first 30 days are sacred. They are raw, they are messy, and they can be beautiful in their own brutal way. You're not expected to be okay right now. You're expected to heal slowly, gently, and in your own time. This video is not meant to scare you. It's meant to prepare you for what's to come. It is meant to encourage you to embrace each of the phases, knowing that you will come out the other side with a new perspective and a new strength. Surround yourself with safe people. Rest when you can. Cry when you need. Celebrate every inch of progress, even if it's just getting up and brushing your teeth or taking a small walk. You're not broken and you are rebuilding. And I can tell you from experience, healing can be a journey of huge, huge self-discovery. and your life can be better than you ever imagined it could be. You're not doing it wrong. You're doing an incredible job, and I'm rooting for you.